Good morning. Yeah, I've already seen, apparently you guys were waiting. You knew about my 11 o'clock show, I guess. I didn't think these live things were going to be that popular, so I was just testing them out this week to see how they go. The good news is my work schedule has changed a little bit, so I have a lot more free time in my mornings now. I don't actually have to do a lot of work in my day until around 1 o'clock now. So because of that, I've been testing out these live sessions, and I didn't know you guys enjoy these things that much. Now I have about 47 questions in queue, and just so you know, I have a third-party chat app. So for subscribers, and that's where mainly I see the questions. Sometimes I turn the live questions off on the video, but let's jump in. This is going to be a mix of personal questions about myself from, it looks like, subscribers, and then any random questions from the public crowd and whatnot about relationships, probably. So first question is, Coach Landry, what kind of man would you consider yourself, and are you in love? Yes, I'm in love. And the feedback I've gotten is I'm charming. I'm a little bit of an old soul. I consider myself a gentleman with some edge, and also consider myself a man of kind of candor and confidence, and I'll do whatever it takes kind of guy. So that's kind of a snapshot of who I am. I mean, of course, there's more to me or whatever, but all depends on what you're talking about. Yeah, so where I am, I got the windows open, I'm airing out the house and stuff, and it gives kind of a glow, right? So I kind of look like angelic when I do things in the morning. So very cool. Where's your mic, Coach? Actually, I've upgraded my tech a little bit. You should hear me pretty good. I don't necessarily need the mic right in front of me anymore. Why do men try so hard? I've been dating for a little while, and I feel like men throw themselves all over me, and I get a little overwhelmed, and it makes me back off. How do I know what they really want? Well, betas throw themselves at women, okay? Oh, it's a guy you were dating for a while. Okay. Well, look, I mean, when people love you, they're going to throw themselves at you. Alphas will do it for, 4 to 5 days, and at some point, if they don't get anything from you, they're just going to pull back. Okay, betas will do it till the end of time. Betas don't have the options that alpha has. So, and remember, alphas only make up, I say, 7% of the dating pool of men. So betas will continue to push and push. Now, and most men mask their true intentions, unfortunately. And this is why I think women start to like men only to find out things they don't like about men, is because men think it's better to woo you and hold on to you than it is to get to really know you. And it's an unfortunate trait of men, and betas are horrible at it. And because of that, I think it can make people feel like they're unloved sometimes. And women in particular, it's why, when they find an alpha, they work their tail off to hold on to them, because they see the difference between an alpha and a beta. By the way, your name means queen in Latin, if you didn't know that. So that might be interesting for you. My handsome Coach Landry, what is your greatest fear? And do you have any interesting hobbies? Is there anything you really want to do that you haven't? Well, that's a nice question. My greatest fear is flying, and I plan to change that in February 2020. I made a goal to myself. I actually made this 6 months ago, but I am going to go to Paris and Venice, without a doubt. And I'm going to have to drug myself probably. But I also actually enjoy playing the piano. What's weird about it is I'm very shy about it. I typically do it by myself. I don't do it in front of other people. And one of my favorite hobbies that, it's funny, I was looking at my YouTube video, or not my YouTube video, but my Facebook page. I noticed this time last year I went sailing. So my friend has a boat. I called him up today. I said, hey, I want to take your boat out today. And so I'm hoping I go sailing today. That's what I want to do. And, sometimes when I go sailing, I take your guys, I'll print stuff out. Now that I have a working printer again, I'll take your stuff and I'll go read it while I'm out there. Coach Landry, me and my boyfriend of 3 years used your videos to help us get through a really bad 6-month patch. Your advice was spot on. We just needed to communicate more and more effectively. Let us return the favor. You should come to New York. I work at a hotel and can get you a nice room with a view on us. Bring a lady with you. We'll show you around the city. Well, you know what? I will take you up on that. That's awesome. Thank you. Well, it looks like I might be going to New York, folks. If you would message me on the link below or PM the channel, I would like to go to New York during Christmas. That would be awesome. Just contact me in the link below. I will definitely take you up on that, though. I definitely will take you up on that. Hey, Coach, I watch your material. I'm a 37-year-old female. It helped me and I'm a local in your area in Cinco, Richmond. I'm a real estate agent. My boyfriend works in the HR medical field. We have seen you and your lady at HEB in La Centera. We should all get a cup of coffee sometime. It would be awesome. All right, I got 2 things in a row. That's really cool. Thank you. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, or over some cold weather and evening. Let's all get together. What small things do you enjoy with the person you love? I like sitting out with. Oh no. Okay. Like sitting out. Is that what you're asking? Look, I really do enjoy the small things in life. Yeah. So I really enjoy, being at a coffee shop with who I love and literally just talking about anything. Like I am not a proponent of, squishing the dynamics of people. I want my significant other to bring up anything. I think what I care about is that they're actually talking to me, not specifically what they talk about. Some people talk about, random things. Some people have something on their mind. Some people need to knock out relationship stuff. Whatever it is, just talk about it. Don't wait. Because I like to get out in front of things. And so I enjoy whether it be a serious conversation, whether it be something they need to vent about that's nothing to do with me, but it's about life, or it's about us, or it's, about anything. And yeah, I really enjoy going on walks because I think it's very important for me specifically. I need a sense of nature at least a couple times a week. It rejuvenates me. And my lakes are really nice. They have, a beach house built onto it. And they got some, I think it's cranes. The girl I was dating, she knew all this stuff. And, but it's got turtles and ducks. And there's a sense of nature, and I need that. And I feel really good with doing it with somebody that I really enjoy their company. And I wouldn't do it with someone I didn't enjoy their company. So my advice would be, if you're one of those people that likes to do things like that, take them somewhere, walk with them, talk about things. Anybody you can walk and talk with always makes for a good relationship. It just does. Now, if you're going through a bad patch in your relationship, well, obviously walking and talking is not going to work out. But when you get back to home base, it certainly does. Do you enjoy movies? Yes, I absolutely enjoy movies. I like Meet Joe Black, Legends of the Fall, Top Gun, Pretty Woman, things like that. Yeah. So I live in a large city. So one of my goals during the holidays specifically, like the holidays are really important to me. In my opinion, I always say September through December are my most deciding months of the year. I decide everything I'm going to conquer and want to accomplish during that time. Yeah. And I like to even light a candle during a movie. I like to always have some sense of nature. The girl I was dating, she liked to put on like tranquil music when you go to sleep. And I actually used to do that all the time when I was young. I had lifescapes, rain and frogs and rainforest and all that stuff. I used to as a kid, and she brought that back, and I really enjoyed that. And, I recommend that to anybody if you're trying to get some good sleep or whatnot. But I just, I love the simple things. And, but overall, the person I'm in love with and the simple things in life, that's what matters more to me than anything. And it should to you too. The little things count in relationships. Okay. Are there any types of things that affect our mental mood that should be avoided? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me give you a personal experience of mine. And this is recent. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Brad. I did a video with him this week on his channel, talking about psychology and medical stuff. And, a common thing that affects mood, one of those things for me personally was PPIs. So I have taken them for, I don't know, something like 6-8 weeks or something like that. But in the month of July and August and something, there was something like just didn't feel right about me, and I was more irritable and I was edgy, and and it lowered my ability to handle stress, and I felt like I was kind of living moment to moment for a while. Well, I recently cut all that stuff out, and I mean, I have exploded in energy, wanting to have fun, and it's really opened up my eyes on a lot of stuff. And, it brings out that childlike part of me. Now that I'm not on those things, I feel like I'm like, wow, I had no idea what those things were doing to me. And sometimes, and this is a naturopath doctor, Dr. Brad. So I'll try to put a link somewhere in there for you. But I mean, my desire to do things right now is like launched off the sky pad here. And yeah, exactly. And sometimes we just don't realize stuff like that. So what is the difference between love and desire? I'm fighting with someone right now. We haven't spoken. Should I go to their place? Yes. Now, look, I'm not a big proponent of people showing up randomly to your house. It can make you uncomfortable, especially if you're upset, right? But if the person shows up and I'm there, I mean, I'm ultimately going to talk to them. And what I find is most of the time, even though I don't like that, if it's someone I love and want to work something out with, I'm going to let them in the door. We're probably going to make up. It's probably all going to be better. It's the thought of it, I think, sometimes that can bother you. But look, any man or any woman who's in love with you, they're going to find a way like that. They're going to come to you and whatnot. What I worry about for some people, though, is you need to make sure that once you do that, like if I go to a girl's house right now and she doesn't know I'm coming, I'm trying to get back with her, and let's say she doesn't answer the door, or she does, but she puts things off. One of the important things I would do is I'd probably try again. You should never feel foolish for loving somebody. I don't mean they should never make you feel foolish. I mean, you should never. If you love someone, then try. Now, I'm not saying try forever, but don't let one effort make you stop. Put in 2 to 3 more. And then if you're not getting any feedback, it's probably real, right? So if you go by their house 2 or 3 times and they don't let you in the door, they don't want to see you, that's real. If you go by once and they turn that away, that's situational. And in relationships, it's really important that we realize situations from overall feelings. Okay, sometimes we are just in a place where we can't deal with it and we need a moment, right? And let me read the rest of what you said. Yeah, and as far as love and desire, love is built over time, and desire is the space between you two, right? So when I have space with somebody that I love, I desire them. I want them. Shit, sometimes, my woman will be in the kitchen and I'll look at her and I desire like that. And that's love, that's because it's been built over time. So, after all your fighting for your relationship, what's important is as long as they're in love with you. And I say this in a lot of my videos, but I can't say it enough. You must be in love to have a healthy relationship. Okay. And I get asked, and someone's asked right now, that's a funny question. Someone asked me something about Jersey Shore. I'm going to tackle that in a minute. I just watched the latest episode. I will talk about that. In fact, I'll name this episode Jersey Shore. How about that? Yeah, totally. I love Jersey Shore. But, 2 to 3 attempts, like you want someone who takes risks for you, right? And I don't mean unhealthy ones where you've had a horrible relationship for like 3 years and, or, things are really, really bad and they're acting psycho. I'm talking risks like, I love you. When can I see you? I'm sorry about our fight. I want to meet you. Let's talk at dinner. I've seen other coaches advise like, well, you send 1 or 2 messages and then you walk away. No. Oh, so let me get this straight. In this world, we're supposed to start ignoring our feelings in order to be with somebody. Look, the laws of attraction are those who are in love will find their way to one another. Even when you're pissed off or you're upset, eventually you're going to give in. Somewhere in there down the line, a week or 2, maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of hours, you're going to desire to see them. Okay. Like me, the girl I love, like I love her smell. Like I think about it when she's not around. And one time I was talking to her, she was telling me that she kept a napkin with my cologne on it. That's love, right? You know why? It's because when you're not around, they need to feel your presence somehow. And that is really, really important. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna answer this Jersey Shore question because this is hilarious. Will JWoww in 24 work out? No. And the reason they won't work out isn't because of his age. And I know that's what people are probably thinking, like, oh, right away, well, he's young, so that's not going to work. I'll tell you why. Let me give a drink of coffee. Thank you for your donations. I see them coming in. His demeanor is all wrong. JWoww is wired all wrong. Okay, so they are in the honeymoon stage right now. It is ultimately going to fail. And this is what I talk about earlier when I said that men do not expose their true intentions in the first couple of months of dating you. They just don't. Okay. Alphas have no problem doing it. Betas will never do it. He's not actually an alpha. He's actually a beta. And the reason you can tell he's a beta is, number one, he's dating an older woman. Okay. Alphas don't date older women. Like, find me an alpha, and I guarantee they're with some cute, lovable, young, energetic, great feminine energy woman. Guarantee you. And obviously in proportion to their age. So when I say young, they could be 50 and their wife is 45 or 43 or whatever. But that's not important because age actually isn't important. But from an alpha hunting style way, it is. But overall, if I take a relationship and I break it down by age eventually, and I'm explaining that to you because someone's asking, what do you mean by that? His demeanor is all wrong. Okay. He tries too hard. Okay. He's constantly holding a smile, which tells me he's just there for fronting. He's not actually there to be supportive. JWoww, he's there for possession. Completely different. You never listen to me when I tell you this. You don't want to be with a possessive man. Okay. You want to be with a protective man. What's the difference? Protective men will let you run off if you act a fool. They'll say, go be a fool somewhere else. They will let you act out, do what you got to do. And then they will call you on it and make you pay for it. They will make you stand to account for it. Betas will let you run around, act a fool, and still be there with you. And you'll think he supports, he loves me for I am. No, he's actually just possessing you. Okay. Because they don't have any other options usually. A lot of times they'll say, oh, it's typical beta male things. So Jenny has her own issues. In my opinion, it's real simple with Jenny. Jenny should stay single. Jenny's not a bad person, but relationships bring out the worst in Jenny. And why is that? And that's because Jenny probably never had, I think, built into her the setup and the makeup to actually be with a man and make a man happy. I think a lot of what makes a man happy makes JWoww feel threatened, makes her feel cornered, makes her feel trapped. That doesn't make JWoww a bad person. I just personally, from a psychological standpoint, I look at her and she's better off on her own. She has guidance issues, daddy and guidance issues. And that's a no-go. I mean, they're two bad peas in a pod. You watch. And, two things that women look for are intelligence and a sense of humor. And his youth messes that up, unfortunately. Now, age doesn't matter, but take it from any women who date men, that are a few years older. If you get their opinion, eventually you'll learn that, it just doesn't work. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they're having great sex and whatnot. He's getting what he wants. And, I noticed when I was watching the show this past episode, notice that when she's like falling or he's trying to get her, he grabs her by the back of her neck. Okay. Men who put their hand on the back of your neck or always have it on the small of your, I'm sorry, not the small of your back, but your upper shoulder, or they're holding on to your waist. That's a sign of possession. The small of the back is normal. Okay. It's considered endearing in some ways, for some people. But they're two peas in a pod, or two bad peas in a pod. So no, I don't see that working out, and what's going on there. But What's the next question? What kind of woman should I avoid? Easily, women who appear, disappear, reappear, and they'll waste your life away. Let me tell you something. From when I talk about these things, I talk about from my youth, college, dating life, and all that thing. Both men and women. If a man is flaky on you, if he's there and then he's not, I don't mean by phone call. I mean when you call him to set up a date, or you go to his house, or you him come to your house, or you two go out to dinner or go have coffee, and he keeps canceling last minute, or he finds reasons why he can't make it, but then he makes it the next time, but then not the next time. Same thing for women who flake on you, women who are like, I love you, I want to be with you. And as soon as they feel any kind of like, oh, you might hurt me, they pull completely back. Those people will waste your life because they are so indecisive. They don't have the fortitude to connect with you correctly. And women like that should be with alphas, because if they're not, they are going to drive a beta to his break. A beta's going to break with a woman like that, right? And a misnomer in a lot of this stuff is women assume that if a man is intelligent, he's an alpha. No, he is not. There are a lot of beta intelligent men out there that maybe they make a great scientist and a horrible dater. And I have videos on that already, so check that out. But here's another question from somebody. I got enough time for 2 more questions. How do I know after a year if I should invest more? I don't like making rules for my man I'm dating, but I'm struggling here right now, and we've been together for a while. Well, I don't like making rules for human dynamics, period. I prefer principles, okay? And my greatest principle is my time. Okay. If I'm spending time with you, I love you, I want to be with you, I'm giving up the greatest gift I can give somebody, my time. I can't get it back. Right. So if I'm doing that, then you should know I love you. If you start acting like I don't love you, well, then you're crazy, but you should feel crazy about somebody though. And both good and bad. So, and when people say, "Oh, love's a love-hate thing," no, it's not. It's a love frustration thing. Okay, people frustrate us and they hurt us, but we love them. A love-hate relationship is someone to move on from, in my opinion. If you have a fight and 2 days passed, you should feel crazy and be dying to talk to them. It shouldn't be something where you're just kind of like, whether they call me or not, I don't care. That's not a good feeling to give somebody. It's not a good feeling to have. I know that when I don't hear from someone I love or in love with or dating or whatnot, if I don't hear from them in 1 or 2 days, I start to go stir crazy. My life is, my time and my priorities are them. It's her. She's unique. I can't replace her. So where is she? I want to talk to her. I want to be around her. I want her to be around me. I love her company. Now, look, when you're going through a fight, obviously some of these things pull back or whatnot. Are these things that you should tell your girlfriend or boyfriend? Yes, I've actually told mine that she's irreplaceable, that I love her. And it's important that I tell her that because that makes her my top priority. That tells her she is number one in my life. When she has an issue and she brings it to me, maybe not at the exact moment they bring it up, but I'll be like, hey, let's talk about this. At some point in the next couple of days, like, let's get this done. Look, like I said earlier, you want to be with someone who takes big risk on you. You don't want to simply be with someone who's holding back or afraid, so they're only giving you like 80% in certain areas and whatnot. And I always stress, remember, if you're fighting, these things get jilted and messed up. But get to the table, communicate, talk about it. And once these things get ironed out, you won't be paying attention to how much time has passed that y'all haven't worked things out. You'll just squash it, 2 to 3 conversations max is all it should take. That can be, you talk for 2 or 3 hours, and that can be for you only talk for 20 minutes at a time. Whatever works for you as a couple, but talk about it. Don't run from it. How do I know if things are serious? Easy. Watch someone, what they do, not what they say. Okay. If they want to spend good quality time with you, like I just said, like I said, it's the greatest gift, right? So think about how much time you save when you watch their actions and you're paying attention to words. Women typically fall into this trap, and they really need to work on this. If you're one of these women that does this, If a man's words hurt you or keep turning you off or keep making you question your relationship, but his actions are good, like he's spending time with you, you're always with him, you're at his place, he's at your place, well, then you have a good relationship. You are overthinking it. You are looking at it too hard. You are drowning it in bullshit. And I'm reading the rest of what you're saying. Yeah, often relationships in the beginning, the problem you have in the beginning will be the problem you have in the end, or it could be the problem that ends you if you don't work on it. The worst thing men do is communication. And there's two types of men that are bad at communication. There are the types who communicate a lot, but what they say is just ineffective for you, right? And then there are the type of men who just shut down. With women, there are the women who are too emotional at communicating with you, so they can't ever get you into a place of ease where a man can open up. It's important that if a woman, something's bothering her, when she brings it to you, she reminds you at the beginning of that conversation, she wants to be together. It's not a whatever you're about to say, make me walk. Yeah, make me walk away. Exactly. I'm sorry. I couldn't put my words together. I need some more coffee. And that's how you'll know that, right? Women are either going to give you communication that's healthy or they're not. And often if we look at when we meet someone in the very beginning, if you go back and you look at the first 3 months, you can often spot what you're talking about a year later, 2 years later. It'll still be there in some form. And it's up to you throughout that relationship to decide whether that's going to work for you. The other person asked, so are you going to come to New York? I live here too. I watch your channel. If you come, we should all do something together. Would love to meet your significant other. And I have so many questions to ask you. New York is crazy. I bet it is. I am going to take her up I'm sorry. I'd have to scroll back up the chat, but yeah, I definitely, I haven't been to New York before. I've been on the outskirts of it. I've been to Ithaca, parts of Ithaca, but I've never been New York Christmas, the New York thing. And like I said, I'm going to conquer this whole flying thing here pretty soon. It's one of my own fears, one of my own things to deal with. And, I'm very open about my own in life things that I could do better. And that's certainly one of them. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I will definitely bring somebody with me and we will make a night of it. And hopefully I can come during Christmas. I would love to do the whole Rockefeller Center and Christmas thing. How cool would that be? And if you guys are open to it and there's enough time, maybe go Christmas to New Year's, do a 7-day trip there. Absolutely. Message me. Both of you message me. We will make New York a cool thing to do. No, the Paris thing I was talking about, that's going to be my kind of New Year's thing. As a man, how do I know when a woman is good for me versus just having me around as company? Again, I say pay attention to her actions, not her words. Women are very good at being loving, or they live in the moment. Maybe after sex, they tell you they love you. Maybe when you're doing something well. But women who really love you and want to be with you, they're going to fight for you. They're not going to let, when something happens, just crumble y'all. Yeah, they'll put some conversation to it, but they're just going to fight. When they think you're pulling away, they're going to come to you and be like, hey, why are you pulling away? What's going on with you? I want to talk to you. Don't do this. I love you. We can do this. Good women will make you feel like a team. They will remind you that they are right there ready to fight with you. And good men will do that too, but women are better at communicating this. Good women who have good intentions, who really want to be with you. I'm going to do a video on this. I'm getting asked this question a lot. What equals somebody to stay with if you've been with them for a little while? What amount of time should pass before I know not to return to a relationship? Anytime you've been with someone over 5 years, 5 years is the mark. In psychology, we showed anybody under 5 years, let's say you dated someone for 3.5, maybe even 4. There's still a chance if things go bad and y'all take a 3-month break that you can call them back and get that back to where it was. But studies definitely show that after 5 years, if you return to it, it just doesn't look the same to you anymore. You've grown too much. You've probably met other people that have made you see the world a little bit different, and you just don't want to go back to it. So Yeah, keep that in mind. Does playing hard actually work in short or long-term relationships? No, it does not. You know, what she said, I've been with a guy for a while and I want to take the next steps. We've been dating 2.5 years. We started off as friends. Our relationship has blossomed, but I think I'm going about it wrong. Would it be playing hard to make him kind of step up and ask me about the next steps? No, it will not. It doesn't work. And what it does is as soon as he gets you, if you play hard, first of all, it's going to change the dynamic of your relationship, which is going to make him think things aren't right. And then as soon as he gets you back to normal, his interest level is going to drop like dramatically. It's like insulin. Boom. You're just going to go down. Just because you want something serious doesn't mean you need to act serious to get there. Look, you heard me talking earlier about medical stuff, even with myself. Once I got off those pills, my childlike fun side started popping out of me like crazy. Now all I want to do is talk and laugh and smile and be with people I love right now. And that's because I didn't realize I had something in my system. So I would say to you is look at how the way I'm talking about that, you want to make sure that you don't get too serious either. And you're not even anything medical. I'm just saying mentally we can get to a place. We don't need anything to affect us, which, if you're taking some kind of, medicine or something to do that, we can get too serious just in general. One of the biggest killers for relationships are overthinkers. Overthinkers are the worst. They can't stop drilling for stuff. So if you left a man or you left a woman because you overthought it and you regret that, go back and get them. Get her, whatever. Go back and get them. Stop freaking out about stuff, Look, and I'm gonna end on this because I want people to know this, and I think I'm gonna remind people of this in my videos like here on out for a little while. And I'm probably gonna do one more live streaming video, and then I'm probably gonna take a break for a little while. But we walk through this life and we meet lots of people that are important to us, that we love, that we become friends with. I got to ask the question on my last segment: Is it better to be friends before a relationship? And I said yes, as long as it becomes natural. And when you're friends with someone in the beginning, you're still kind of dating a little bit in like certain ways, but you don't finalize it. And people who don't do that actually are very healthy together. And the reason it's healthy is because it means they're organic growers. It means they're adaptable to growing together. That's why it's the biggest sign. It's different when you meet a person, they ask you out, you go on the protocol of 1 to 3 days. Do I like him? Am I going to go on another one? Do I like him? Do I like her? That's protocol dating. That often has a low success rate, actually, believe it or not. What has a high success rate are people who meet and grow organically. And psychology shows those couples do 200% better than other couples. Does that mean you won't ever have a rough patch with them? You won't ever have a time where shit's just going down or that hard times won't come? As long as you're with someone who will fight with you, fight for you, that's all gonna work out. So I wouldn't worry about that. Unless, like I said, you dated over 5 years and then now you're trying to go back to it after 5 years, after you broke up and whatever. Well, the reason that is once you've dated 5 years, you've seen enough to know whether it's going to hold on or not. So once you leave it, especially if it's reasons for like cheating, if you live together, if you're engaged, if you're working on kids and all that just blew up, there's a part of you inside that, you probably don't notice right away. It just can't return to it ultimately. It can do it for a little while. It just ultimately can't hang in there. But so, I think the note to leave with this segment, I'm about to head out and do a little selling. I'm going to watch some football, hopefully have some steaks tonight. But if I could leave you with anything today, it's whoever you love, fight for them. I went through something recently where the girl put up a little bit of a fight. She didn't put up as much as I would like. Ultimately, she did it one time. I would like more from it and more of it. It would make me feel like, she's in it. And that's the point, is that you want somebody who will relentlessly fight for you. Both people need to do it. This isn't a courtship mode of, well, men should do it and the woman should be there and whatnot. If you love somebody, you're not going to let them go easily into the night, so to speak, away from you. When you don't hear from them from days, it hurts your heart. Okay. And that's how it should feel. Remember, once we're over the age of 30, the game has ended. You're not playing a game with love anymore. You literally need to attract what you want. I did a session I think it was last week, with another life coach, and we debated, the dating prospects and how that goes. And even in the chat, people were saying, I'm more of the relationship guy, and the other guy's more of the pickup artist. And he's popular. I mean, he's got like 4 million people subscribed. He's British. Not going to throw his name out there. I want you guys just to kind of think about it. Maybe it'll come to your head. See, I'll let you in the chat. Anyway, so we debated or whatnot, and I said, look, I like to care about healthy, meaningful, long-term relationships. When you're old and you're on the porch together and you're drinking tea out of a mason jar and you're talking about life, that is the one that matters in the end, not the how do I get you. Remember, it's easy to get people. It is hard to keep good quality people. And alpha men, there's only about 7% out there in any given city at a time. As a woman, if you find one, hold on to him. I guarantee you will be disappointed by many men after him. Men, if you find a good, charming woman and she's doing right by you and she's fighting for you and put an effort for you and she's giving good, healthy communication, hold on. Don't let her go. And that concludes my segment, my Sunday morning. Thanks for buying me a cup of coffee. And yes, thank you. And to the New York people, I will definitely try to get up and see if I can get to see you guys in maybe December in New York. I will take you up on your free hotel and your view of the park. And to the people here in Cinco and Richmond, the couple who wants to meet, personal message me, and I'll see if I can get together sometime. The weather is obviously beautiful where we are. Let's see if we can go to La Cintiera and do some coffee and see how that's going. So I hope you guys enjoyed the segment. Happy Sunday. Happy football. Talk to you soon.